Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be looking at an item from Construx. This is Breakout Beasts, Series 2. Alright, so Construx, this is the first item I've gotten from them at all. And from what I can tell, Construx seems to be somewhat similar to Legos. They seem to be heavily focused on licensed IPs. So, for example, Pokemon, Despicable Me, Halo, Destiny, yeah. Now, this particular series, the Breakout Beasts, I believe these to be an original IP of Construx. I could be wrong, but at least that's what, because I've never heard of Breakout Beasts until I saw this, so that's why I'm going to say that. Of course, correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a cartoon or something I'm not aware of, let me know in the comments. Alright, and as I said, this just happens to be Series 2. Alright, now let's take a look around the package. I would say box, but as you can see, it's not a box. It's a plastic egg. And right here we have, on the shrink wrap, we have pictures of, it looks like some of the different creatures we may get. And as you may have already figured out, this is a blind bag scenario, so we're not sure what one of these cool fancy creatures we're going to get until we actually break out or break the egg. Now, reading the contents here, you'll notice it mentions slime, so I'm assuming our character is going to be in pieces and in slime. So, all right, and let's talk about this shell, this egg here. This egg is actually quite fun to hold. It fits in the hand really well. I was juggling it and throwing it up in the air, spinning it, catching it. And so even before I open it, it's already become kind of a toy in itself. Now, this whole thing here weighs 0.6 pounds, so a little over half a pound. And it gives it some nice heft to it. And it doesn't make you feel like you're getting something, because there's definitely something in here. You can see here at the top, we do have what look to be little connectors. Perhaps our character can stand on this shell like a stand when we're done. I'm not sure, I'm just saying. And there are some connectors also on the bottom. Alright, from the outside, it's not apparent how we're actually supposed to break open the egg, if we're actually supposed to break it, which I don't think we are, or there's probably a perforated seam that we split it using that. That would be my guess. However, the texture is interesting. You can see here, it's not just a smooth piece of plastic with details painted on it, but you can see there are actual protrusions there, so it does really give it that texture, like I guess an egg for perhaps a dragon. But yeah, so that's a cool touch. Okay, so with all that, I'd say the packaging is effective, and it is definitely interesting enough. It's one of the reasons I picked this up, because I said, what's in the egg? And I saw cool creatures and dragons and griffins and stuff. So, of course, that was an easy buy. Alright, now, let's go ahead and get to the unboxing here. I'm going to assume we just tear off this shrink wrappy type deal. Let me go ahead and cut it to make it a little easier. Okay. Alright. And there was a perforated spot right there. I could have started there, but I didn't, so let's just go with this. Okay, now, alright, so once you get off the outer wrapping, there's yet one more band of plastic, presumably to hold the thing together. Oh, and now we can see, let me get this off here. Yeah. Alright. So now with the second layer of plastic off, we can see where the egg actually splits. Perhaps you see there, following with my thumb. Okay, so now, since it did say that there's going to be slime involved in this, I'm going to go ahead and use a plate here. Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so opening her up or breaking it out. Okay, well, so we have yet another layer to keep all the slime contained. Alright, so I was just noticing that around here there's actually a gasket to provide even a better seal. Now we have here this little, I'm assuming, manual slash collector's guide. Okay, so well, okay, so right off the bat, I thought this would be like a general, but it seems that this one's pretty. This particular one might be specific to the character that we got, because I see here we have these nice blue bat wing, and if you look in here, maybe you can see it. See right there? There's that blue wing. So you might actually even know who you've got before you actually open the bag. But that has yet to be seen, but at least that's the way it appears from where I'm at now. They're also explaining how you can, of course, mix and match and make your own customized creature. And, okay, here on the back, kind of showing you how the process is going to go down. You open the egg and open the bag, and then you put your character together through the slime as you dig out the pieces. And then there's how to put them together, right? And, okay, as I thought earlier, you can see those connection points at the top actually are used for something. The connection points on top of the egg and on the bottom of the egg, because you have two halves of the egg, right? All right, and, okay, then here are the other characters you can get. So, all right, now let's get to the good part and actually open up. So, the bag is kind of shaped, interesting shape. So it's not just a bag, but rather it has a design and also has a unique shape. And there's a perforation right here down the center, so I'll use that to open it up. And okay, the slime. Talk about slime consistency here. The slime is on the jelly side, so it's not super runny, and but it's definitely there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so okay, yeah, so I'm having fun with the slime. So, but the slime does come off of the pieces relatively easily. So, like, I mean, I'm not being that thorough, and I can get most of the slime off of one of our wings already, so that's helpful. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean off the rest of these bits real quick. Alright, so as you can see, I got all the parts out of the slime, and since we're talking about the slime, I'd like to point out it cleans up way easier than you might think at first. So for as sticky as it is, it sticks to each other more than it sticks to the pieces, so you can clean up your character without even really needing to use water. I still chose to rinse off, in this case I rinsed off his head and his torso just to make sure I got all the slime out of all the little nooks and crannies, but realistically you wouldn't even need to do that. So that's definitely a plus on the slime. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about these pieces. Of course, I'm going to put the character together, but I just wanted to show you something about the material that these are made out of. So here's one of his arms, and you can notice you can actually bend it and flex it, and it does have a kind of a rubbery feel. So like this piece here is not hard plastic. It does allow you to give it a more realistic feel, and it also allows, I guess, for play. You can, yeah, you can beat them up with one another, and it's not hard plastic when they go click clack together. Now, some of the parts, like for example this here, this kind of because this is after all an ice dragon, so we have this cool kind of semi-transparent plastic here, and it gives it that whole ice frozen effect. A little bit of slime left there, but that's easily to take off. Okay, so this part is hard, but all the other parts, like here's his actual back, you can see this is also flexible. Yep, and it does have this kind of scaly appearance, so yeah, it does. It looks good, nice touch. And the wings, that's another big thing. As you can see here, the wings actually do have this membranous feel, so that is a really cool touch. Because this could have been easy just to make hard plastic, but they didn't. So You can even fold them. So that's a definite plus there. Okay, and also let's talk about his head. You can see that the jaw does open and close, and you can keep that in the however much you see, so it holds its position. And also there is a slot in his mouth to insert, which I'm going to assume, where is it, right here, this I would call it fireball, ice ball, whatever. You can see that fits in there. So that's pretty cool. Okay, well now we'll go ahead and put them together. One last tip though, when you're digging out your parts from the slime, make sure you get these before you throw out the slime. Since these are so clear, they camouflage really easy in the slime. Okay, so now I'm going to put them together. Alright, and there he is, all put together. This is Ice Blaze, and he's actually one of the ones I wanted, so excellent. Okay, so the character stands on its own, and also since it is a ball and socket, you can move his appendages and pose them as you like, so there's a good range of motion there. And also the wings, if you look, they are on a hinge, so you can move those as well. So excellent. Also, he comes with what I assume is armor here, and you can go ahead and apply that to the holes on his chest. I personally am going to keep that off because I think it just looks cooler without that on there, but he does have a chest plate and also armor for his legs, one for each leg, of course. Now, I noticed that there seem to be extra holes, so they're there, and also on top of his head. So it looks like there is room for, and there are some more on the back as well. So I guess that would be for the customization. You can add different parts from other dragons and whatnot, and make him your own. Now, the one last thing I wanted to show here is that the stand, and I was going to go ahead and pose him on his shell, so I'll be right back. And there he is, so he's flying. So you can use those center holes to mount him, so you can use it for more than just the armor. Alright, so real quick before we get to the conclusion, I just wanted to come back to this little instruction guide here. Now you can see that these are the pieces I got for my Ice Blaze Dragon. And if you look closely enough, each piece has its own designation number and everything. So you may choose not to look at this guide until you actually rip open the package and dive into the slime, because you'll basically know who you got before you even get into it. So that might ruin the surprise for some, but this is still beneficial to keep because, for example, these little tips, these go on the tip of the wing, but they're very small, so you might not know that you're supposed to get them if you didn't look at this. So maybe open this after you dig out your character. Alright, so in conclusion, would I recommend these? Yes. These are actually way better than I thought they'd be. That probably comes down to the fact of the ball and socket assembly, so you can actually pose them, and also the materials, especially in the wing, but even in the arms and the legs, it does give it more, they just feel more real, since they're not hard plastic. So, and of course they also look very cool too. So, yep.